big a deal is this, Cisco committing $10 billion to China?
Well, it's a big deal. Cisco does today a little over $1 billion in revenue to China. It used to be north of $2 billion. $10 billion over a few years is a big number. They have an opportunity to add to R&D talent in China. They have a large manufacturing footprint in China, have for a couple decades. They could have walked away from China given all the challenges they faced the last couple of years, but this is definitely a recommit.
And a lot of other companies have walked away from China. I mean, Google left the country, Facebook is blocked in China. Hans, what do you make of it? Is this a sort of breakthrough? I mean, tensions have been rising between the U.S. and China on the NSA and spying situation. How big a deal is this from the Chinese side?
I think for Chinese is part of the bigger strategy of adding more efficiency, innovation to the economy. As you know, China population is aging. Some numbers say by 2050, close to 25% of the population, or 300 million, will be age 65 or older. So China cannot continue to grow by leveraging cheap labor costs for indirect investment. It has become more efficient and innovative. And this is part of a strategy to do that.
What do you make of the fact, Jayson, that Cisco is doing this as John Chambers, who's been at the helm for 2 decades, is on his way out? Chuck Robbins is on his way in. What does this say about the leadership transition for the company?
It's Chuck for John and a number of new leaders at Cisco. So it's telling you that this new management team is committed to China. And it's the same benefit for Cisco. They have a hard time hiring talented employees in the Silicon Valley. The labor market here is really tight. There's a lot of talented people in China. A lot of innovation Cisco can invest in, so it's a benefit to Cisco too. They can leverage that talent in China and sell product abroad. It's going to be tough for Cisco to take its revenue into China up given political tension, but certainly the company hopes to do that over time.
I find it interesting, Han, that they have a signed agreement with the Chinese government. I've never heard of something like that, at least being publicized. Is that common? Is this the only way to get into China for U.S. businesses?
I think after the Eric Snowden incident, just a lot of tension on both sides. So I think Cisco is demonstrating a stronger commitment to make it happen. You do see signing of documents, but they haven't caught as much publicity as this one, because $10 billion is a big number.
You know, how much sort of negotiation is going on behind the scenes between, U.S. businesses and the highest levels of the Chinese government? I mean, we know Tim Cook has visited and talked to people at the highest levels there, for example.
I think China knows that as the consumption in China continues to increase, it's a strategic leverage for Chinese. So they want to add more elements from Internet. They call it Internet Plus strategy, to introduce efficiency from Internet to disrupt and innovate and bring efficiency to traditional offline economies. If that experiment can work, some argue it could be as impactful as bringing industrial revolution to China.
Now, Jayson, the number sounds big, but where specifically do we expect to see Cisco investing quickly? We just got about 30 seconds.
They are specifically not telling us, but
Exactly.
R&D and equity investments in a non-controlling interest is how I would see it. They already have a huge relationship with Foxconn, of course.
Yeah,
okay.
I agree.